But the consequences after, we have now self-reliant, we have enough food production, we are exporting our food grains outside, and then we are seeing the consequences of our those practices. Nobody can blame for it, but that time that was a need of the hour. Today we see excessive use of fertilizers, excessive use of pesticides, which has gone into environment for POPs and many other things. So in the process we find one side we have learned that we have got enough production, the second time we are degrading environment. And possibly that's the reason that awareness has come. Scientists also thinking, and all society is more aware now. Now I think that's the need of the hour, that we need to look at that. But at the same time, we cannot change the cycle over time. We have seen what has happened, like people say go for organic, overnight we can't shift. We have seen what has happened in Sri Lanka. Similarly, so there has to be balance. The economic prosperity what we have, along with that, how we can balance a sustainable growth, that is a need of the hour. So I represent here as a pollution control board, and our aim is to control pollution. I wouldn't say just control, but have a management of the pollution. I would not go more detail into that, but however, it should be our joint effort to see how we feed our people, but get a quality food. And I think that is an immense responsibility with all of us and scientists here to take this forward. I would also urge the scientists to have this collaborative approach, because now we know what a quality of the foods we can have, how we can minimize the use of pesticides, fertilizer, even excessive irrigation or the water, all that we need to control. Now, climate change is in reality. We are thinking of climate change a few years ago. Today it looks like a typical this climate you will see in end of the May, but this climate we have been seeing for last 2 months or 3 months. So this climate change is a fact, and we have to live with it. So this climate resilient agriculture is a aim which we want to do. Our Honorable Prime Minister said that we have to double the farmers' income. And when we said to, especially the farmers in a coastal area, we grow crops like plantation crops. The coconut will take 10 years to yield. Or most of the crops which have a gestation period of not less than 5-6 years. How would you double the income? Farmers' income. I think that's a way is integrated farming. And today theme of entire workshop is integrated farming. Again, fisheries, piggery, poultry, you name, all can be integrated, and that can increase the farmer's income and get us a better livelihood. I would once again compliment Naveen Kumarji, because I remember he just took it over as a director, and I happened to meet him just, I think, 15 days after took it over. And we had some project, a unique project, some consultants are discussing to have a marine eco-tourism. I just came and spoke with him. Within 15 days, he organized a total meeting with all staff. Some of the staffs were on leave. He said, let them meet on Zoom because of COVID time. And the next 15 days, he came to the site, gave total idea, and made sort of MOU in principle. And that proposal also got approved from CRZ. So I think the speed at which a private organization works is much faster than what I saw with him. That was just, I think, 6-8 months ago. So here, I wouldn't take more of your time, but my personal opinion again here is, as we spoke of integrated approach and agro-tourism, we have a huge potential Goa. And fortunately, all these coastal states has these beaches which are attractive to tourism. How we can enhance? So tourism not only gives you, as DDG said earlier, create a market for selling a product, maybe organic, craftsmen, local. There's a huge potential. Our economy develops around the tourism, but we need to have a sustainable tourism. Goa is known for it. So I would urge, there are two things which, in my opinion, are look at Khazan land. We have a huge Khazan land, is one of the finest ecosystem. However, it has degraded for the reasons known to all. How we can revive with the integrated approach of fisheries, agriculture, poultry, and tourism. Not just opening up the sector, but doing a specific manner. Similarly, another most important and economic backbone of Goa was a mining. We have seen mining for many years. That created a huge prosperity or economic development of hinterland. That you cannot deny. Mining was essential. Last 10 years it has been closed. We have seen what the impact is going. But when we restart the mining, probably we need to have relocated. And where ICR, they are all expertise and knowledge and scientific background. We can look at how the mining could be restarted in a sustainable manner, how we can plan right now to get the crops, create a tourism potential, fisheries potential, because some of the cases in the world, they are done excellent, like agro-tourism, it could be a mine tourism, or it could be ecotourism, because going forward, the mines are located very close to the Western Ghat. How we can integrate and make it. I would not take your more time. Honorable ministers are going to speak here. But once again, thank you very much for giving this opportunity for me. And I wish all the success for these 3 days National Symposium on Self-Reliant Coastal Agriculture. Jai Hind, Jai Goa.
Thank you, sir, for shedding light on agro-ecotourism and integrated farming management. And also, we would like to add that he runs a very successful agro-ecotourism resort in Goa. I now request Shri A.K. Mishra, IAS Secretary, Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Sciences, Government of Goa, to address the gathering.
Respected Naik sir, माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्री निवेश काबराल सर, माननीय मंत्री पर्यावरण गोवा सरकार, चौधरी साहब जा चुके हैं, का भी स्वागत है। पाटिल साहब, हमारे चेयरमैन जीपीसीबी प्रवीण कुमार जी, ये बहुत खुशी की बात है कि एक सिंपोजियम नेशनल लेवल का यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया है। और क्योंकि सिंपोजियम ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया है तो रादर emphasizing on my views ki what should be the development, I should put forth some questions which should be deliberated upon in the symposium. Number 1, what is self-reliant agriculture for coastal areas? जब हम सेल्फ रिलायंट एग्रीकल्चर की बात रीजनल बेसिस पे भारत में करते हैं तो दैट इज फ्रॉट विद डेंजर्स, कि कोई भी एग्रीकल्चर का प्रोडक्शन किसी भी रीजन में ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि वो उसको कंप्लीटली एड्रेस कर सके। दूसरा इशू मेरा इसमें ये रहेगा, सिंपोजियम में जो बातें करें तो सबसे पहला पॉइंट होगा कि स्टेपल डाइट का इशू। किसी भी पॉपुलेशन का, हमारे जो पॉवर्टी का लेवल है, डेवलपमेंट का जो स्तर है, एक मेजर पॉपुलेशन सबसिस्टेंस लेवल पे लीड कर रही है। इसका एक प्रमाण है कि 80 करोड़ लोग अभी भी जो हमारी पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिस्टम की स्कीम से उसके तहत बेनिफिट लेते हैं, आउट ऑफ 140 करोड़ 80 करोड़ प्लस लोग उसका लाभ ले रहे हैं। तो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में स्टेपल डाइट किसी भी इलाके का जो है, जैसे मैं समझता हूँ कि जो नॉन फार्म सेक्टर की बात है उसको अलग कर दें, तो फार्म सेक्टर में हमारे यहाँ राइस होना चाहिए, इफ आई एम करेक्ट। तो जो कोस्टल जोन का प्रोडक्शन है राइस का एंड सपोर्टिव वेजिटेशन क्या हो, जिससे कि एटलीस्ट वो अपना सबसिस्टेंस लेवल अमंग ऑल ऑड्स उसको कवर कर ले। उसके बाद अगला लेवल आता है जो डेवलपमेंट का लेवल आता है, जो आज से 10 से 20 साल पहले कैश क्रॉप के रूप में जाना जाता था, लेकिन अब गवर्नमेंट वोकैबुलरी में कैश क्रॉप वर्ड हट गया है, कैश क्रॉप वर्ड नहीं यूज किया जाता, जिसे अब सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट में कन्वर्ट किया गया है, जिसमें एनवायरनमेंट भी एक एस्पेक्ट आया है। तो कैश क्रॉप पे कैसे वर्क करें, जैसे हमारा गेहूं का प्रोडक्शन कम है या चावल का कम है, तो हमारे जो अल्फांसो हैं या मानखुर्द जो आम है, जिसको अभी चौधरी साहब ने बताया, उसका उस प्रोडक्शन इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कैसे ले जाए कि जो कि बाकी प्रोडक्शन में कमियां हैं जो सब्सिस्टेंस लेवल पे है, उससे हमारे फार्मर उसके ऊपर जाएं। अब इन दोनों चीजों को, स्टेपल डाइट को और जो फसलें आपको पैसे ज्यादा दे रही हैं, इनरिच कर रही हैं, इन दोनों को जब मिलाते हैं तो हमारे सामने तीसरे सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज खड़ा होता है। वो बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है और मैं उसको उदाहरण के साथ देना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि सर एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड के सारे बड़े बड़े दिग्गज बैठे हुए यहाँ पे, तो आई शुड नॉट बी जेनरिक हियर। पंजाब का उदाहरण लें आप, और सर दिल्ली में रहते हैं, लोधी रोड पे हैं सर, तो पराली जो नवंबर में शुरू होती है ना, कुएं का गर्द बैठ जाता है पूरे दिल्ली में। आप सबको शायद पता होगा उसका रीजन क्या है। रीजन इज डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू ओवर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन एग्रीकल्चर इन पंजाब एंड हरियाणा। 3 और 4 फसल लेने के नाते क्रॉप पैटर्न्स को, जो नेचुरल क्रॉप पैटर्न्स थे, नेचुरल टाइमिंग्स थे, वो डिस्टर्ब हुए, पोस्टपोन हुए, बीच में फसल ली गई, धान गेहूं काटा गया, गेहूं के बाद तुरंत फसल बोई गई, जो खरीफ बोलते हैं आप, खरीफ क्रॉप्स इन ईस्टर्न इंडिया सर एंड नॉर्दर्न इंडिया। उसका गेस्टेशन पीरियड पुश हो गया आगे जाके, अक्टूबर एंड में दिवाली तक पहुंचने लगा, एंड अक्टूबर तक जाने लगा। तब तक वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंसेस सेटिल होने लगते हैं। नॉर्दर्न इंडिया में जो वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंसेस सेटिल होने लगते हैं, जाड़ा शुरू होने लगता है, क्लाउड नीचे आने लगते हैं, मॉइस्चर बढ़ता जाता है एयर में, ठंडक बढ़ने के कारण। और उसी समय पराली पहले जलती थी सितंबर अक्टूबर के बीच में, जबकि गेहूं काट दिया जाता था और लोग जला देते थे, तो उसका असर नहीं आता था। विंड तेज होती थी, गर्मी होती, निकल जाता था। अब इशू क्या है कि ठीक नवंबर में जलाया जाता है, कितना भी करने फॉर्म्स इशूज आप जानते हैं। तो जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट एग्रीकल्चर की बात है, सेल्फ रिलायंट मैं कहूँगा, सेल्फ रिलायंट एग्रीकल्चर की बात है, उसमें बहुत इनहेरेंट चैलेंजेस हैं। और हमारी पॉपुलेशन एक बहुत बड़ी संख्या एग्रीकल्चर पे डिपेंडेंट है, और उसके सोशियो पॉलिटिकल इश्यूज हैं। तो मैं अपने एग्रीकल्चर साइंटिस्ट जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, वो इस इशू को उनको मैं आह्वान करूंगा, रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि इस इशू को भी डेलिबरेट अपॉन करें कि लॉन्ग टर्म में गवर्नमेंट का जो विजन है, फार्म सेक्टर्स के जो रिफॉर्म है, जो कि एक सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के लिए किया गया था या होगा आगे, उस पर भी वर्क करें और सेल्फ रिलायंट का कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप करें, और कोस्टल जोन के लिए पर्टिकुलरली वर्क करें, और कुछ आइडिया हमें दे और बेहतर जिसे हम कर सके। इससे ज्यादा मैं अपने विचार आप लोगों के ऊपर ला दूंगा नहीं। मैंने तो प्रश्न सामने रखे, उत्तर आपको इस सिम्पोजियम से निकलना है। थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद सर। जरूर हम सस्टेनेबल सेल्फ रिलायंट कोस्टल एग्रीकल्चर की तरफ काम करेंगे। इट्स द फर्स्ट टाइम श्री नीलेश खबराल, Honorable Minister of Environment, Legislative, Law, Judiciary and Public Works Department, Government of Goa, is visiting our institute, and that too on this auspicious occasion. We seek his blessings and his thoughts.
A very good morning to present for the self-reliant coastal agriculture meet, which is organized in Goa. The 3-day event we have on the inauguration session, our own MP from Goa, and who's the Central Minister for Tourism, Shipyard, Waterways, Government of India, and my mentor, Shri Shripad Yasonaik ji. Our Secretary for Environment, Animal Husbandry, Shri A.K. Mishra ji. We have with us on the dais our Goa State Pollution Control Board Chairman, Mr. Mahesh Patil ji. Just now who was there, he has gone for a function, Shri Suresh ji. And as rightly pointed out by Mr. Mahesh Patil, that Director of ICAR, Goa, Dr. Praveen Kumar ji, who has always been here to help us, guide us in our needs. All other dignitaries of the dais, not naming any of them, I would like to make a special mention of a felicitated Padma Shri ji, who has done, Shri Amay Mangalji Naik ji, who has given us a thought on how he has done his part of giving agriculture a different look at his home state. Well, to take it forward, I think Goa has a very different ecosystem. And I know all of you scientists, doctors who are present here must have studied the ecosystem. But this ecosystem is very vulnerable right now, because in the 5th century, when our ancestors had thought of making a combination of agriculture, fisheries, welcoming the seawater inside, and a lot of things in that research in the 5th century. And at that time, that was the only source of income in the state of Goa or in entire belt this year. Now with the modernization and industrialization, there are a lot of other sources of income. And we find that this particular ecosystem developed in the 5th century in the state of Goa is going through very state where the youngsters of today don't find it lucrative, and they don't maintain this ecosystem which was done in the 5th century. As today's symposium is on self-reliant coastal agriculture, I would like Praveen Kumar ji also to take a thought from what I would express myself, that in the olden times, we remember this 5th century ecosystem which was made from reviving the clay from the bed and making the entire bund, as we call it. An entire bund was maintained by this generation of farmers who used to walk on literally on this bund and find any crabs or any marine thing destroying that bund. They used to pack it up by putting soil or whatever required to see that this bund was maintained. Unfortunately, over a period of time, our younger generation has not found it suitable enough and not enough to find lucrative enough, I would let me put it to say. And we have suffered not only in the 5th century bunds, but ingress of water has gone inside the agriculture fields also. And that has destroyed the entire mechanism of crops and all other ecosystems surrounding it. So with today's self-reliant coastal agriculture, with all the scientists who are here, our Director of Fisheries is there, Director of Animal Husbandry is there, Director of Agriculture is there also, the state of Goa, who will be part of your symposium. And I would like you all to also ponder over, and if required, my biodiversity member secretary, Mr. Dr. Pradeep is also here, is give us an idea on how and what naturally or artificial material will be there so that we can maintain it for these bunds in a more sustainable manner for a longer period of time than in the traditional way where they used to find crabs making holes in the bund and they used to put mud and stop it, because it's not going to be practical. So I will request you to also look into it and advise the government of Goa with your thoughts today and over a period of next 3 days on how do we go about with finding a more resilient method of sustainability in providing the bunds into not using concrete material or not using any other material which will destroy the ecology of the state and country. Well, taking forward, I know there are a lot of discussions which are going to happen over a period of next 2-3 days. And with the coastal agriculture as a self-reliant, as the main subject matter, your advice, your guidance, especially Dr. Praveen, who is here at ICA, has always been helping, associating with Biodiversity Board, with wetland boards, wherever we require our help. I will also share our thoughts over a period. Dr. Pradeep Sir Mukherjee, who is there as member secretary of Biodiversity Board, will also give his thoughts to you all so that you can come out and we as a government can take steps forward to preserve the ecology over the future and the generations, curtailing on what the system we have to inculcate to do better forms of pisciculture and along with agriculture. Once again, not taking much of your time because time is something which we all want to do. But it's very nice to be amongst you all, doctors and scientists here, and whatever knowledge you share, we will take forward. And as I mentioned again, I'm mentioning again, guide us on how we can protect our 5th century ecosystem so that climate change is what is happening right now. And as I said, that the younger generation takes a little back step, especially in Goa, on agriculture front, and rightly pointed out by Dr. Sureshji, saying that we have a peculiar problem here himself that the main agriculturists are not landowners, and the landowners are not agriculturists. I think as laws we'll have to take it up forward in the central government, including the state government, how to protect, because today land is a resource which everybody wants to obtain and give it to himself and doesn't want to transfer it to somewhere else. We had a particular issue way back in the 70s when we had come with the Tenancy Act, where land was given to the tiller of the land. Unfortunately, still there are some places where this has not come forward. But we should find in the newest economics in how to find where the real farmers can produce their growth of on the farm, and how also we can protect land of the landowner, because giving away land by somebody is very which will never happen in this modern world. They will try to hold on the land but not to grow agriculture. And agriculturists will want to grow agriculture on his land, but that landowner will not give him agriculture. It's a complex situation, I think we all have to work on. As a government, we are trying to find solutions to this particular problem. We might have Krishi cards, we might have a lot of other like soil testing cards, but ultimately the desired result is I think we all have to sit together, find some solution to these problems. And I think this is what the ecosystem, the self-reliant coastal agriculture symposium is there for the next 3 days here. I wish you all a pleasant stay in Goa. Wishing you a very fruitful discussions over the next 2-3 days, and finding out and giving out your best forms of how the government of the state of Goa can go forward, including all the other coastal states in the nation. Once again, thank you, and I hope that your stay If there is no doubt that Dr. Praveen must have done a wonderful stay for you all people who have come outside the state, but anything required from the state government also can be always shared. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views about the specific Bandara-related problems of Goa and also the dwindling agricultural land in Goa. We have land and water management engineer working in our institute, and I'm sure he'll incorporate this into his research program. Shri Shripad Yeso Naik ji, Honorable Union Minister of State, Tourism, Shipyard and Waterways. Government of India has been like our own chief patron, motivating, encouraging and supporting in all our institute's endeavors. It was so magnanimous of him to grace this occasion as the chief guest. I invite him now to share his thoughts with us.
Namaskar. Sri Nilesh Kavalji, Honorable Minister of Environment, Legislative Affairs, Law and Judiciary, and PWD. Dr. Praveen Kumarji, Director, ICAR, Goa. Sri A.K. Mishraji, IS Secretary, Agriculture and Military, Command of Goa. Sri Mahesh Patil ji, Chairman, Goa State Pollution Control Board. Dr. R. Solomon Rajkumar ji, Senior Scientist and Organizing Secretary, ICR, Goa. Sri Navila Alfonso ji, Director of Agriculture, Government of Goa. Dr. Shamila Mondero ji, Director of Fisheries, Government of Goa. Dr. Agustino Mesquita, Director Animal Husbandry, Government of Goa. Dr. Pradeep Sarmukadamji, Member Secretary, Goa State Biodiversity Board. Dignitaries of the dais, scientists, member of the press and electronic media, dear brothers and sisters. Friends, India is a vast coastline expanded in 9 states, namely Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal, and 3 Indian territories, namely Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Pondicherry. The coastal region of India, we told 8.64% of the total geographical area, supports around 14.2% of the total human population as per census of India 2011, and 19.5% of the total livestock population as per livestock census of 2019. The coastal region of India is characterized by the rich diversity of climate, topography, soils, crops, livestock, fisheries, etc. Despite the abundance of the natural resources, the productivity of the crops and livestock in this region is poor as compared to the inland areas. Unlike other parts of the country, the region faces unique problems like demographic pressure, land degradation, deforestation, rapid urbanization and industrialization, environmental pollution, climate change effects like increased frequency of the floods, cyclones, droughts, and sea level rise, etc. Making coastal ecosystem as one of the most fragile and climate vulnerable ecosystem. Owing to this, coastal agriculture is getting adversely affected at a time when there is a tremendous pressure to cater to the needs of the coastal population. Traditionally, we knew that the East Coast was very vulnerable to cyclones. Of late, we are seeing cyclonic activities on the West Coast as well. Unseasonal rains, temperature fluctuation, and rise in humidity, all these factors are impacting the crops badly. Being on the coastline,
Goa is equally affected by the impact of the weather, vagaries, productivity of major crops of coastal region like coconut, cashew, mango and declining. So scientists should work on how to double the income of the farmer as it has been envisaged by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi. In the coastal region, one new arena is agro-ecotourism, which can enhance farm income, stimulated by and diversify the rural economy, preserve cultural heritage and strengthen the linkages with the local communities. Agro-ecotourism offer an opportunity to experience enhancing and authentic contact with the rural life, taste authentic local food and explore the various farming activities. It also provides a welcome escape from the hectic daily life to relax and revitalize in a peaceful rural environment. Therefore, this diverse sector of agro-ecotourism needs attention, scientific support, interaction among the stakeholders for sustainable growth. This symposium will provide a knowledge platform for the scientific deliberation for coming out with appropriate recommendation and policy formation. Keeping all these things in view, Association for Coastal Agriculture Research, in a collaboration with the ICR Center Coastal Agriculture Research Institute, Old Goa, is already organized this national symposium on self-reliant coastal agriculture from today up to the 13th May 2022. I think around 2050 delegates from all over the coastal states are participating in this symposium, both physically as well as virtually. This symposium definitely will serve as a platform for the researchers, academicians, farmers, stakeholders, and policy makers to have in-depth deliberation and prepare a roadmap for the self-reliance and sustainability in coastal agriculture. This 3 days long deliberation will help to identify some researchable issues. Scientists should work in harmony to solve the issues faced by the coastal agriculture and Goan agriculture in particular. The policy issue for coastal and Goan agriculture emerging from this symposium will be sent to the State Department through ICR for better implementation. I extend my best wishes for successful deliberation at the conference, leading to valuable recommendation for planning future research and policy making. With these words, I thanks once again all of you. Jai Hind. Bharat Mata.
Thank you, sir. We hope to meet your expectations to the deliberations of these 3 days. Many hands have labored for this kickstart of this symposium, and the most wonderful way to conclude this inaugural session would be to thank them. I now invite the Organizing Secretary of the National Symposium on Self-Reliant Coastal Agriculture to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, very good morning to all of you. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event on the behalf of our organization, on the behalf of our association ACR. With a heartfelt and immense pleasure, I would like to manifest my utmost reverence to the chief guest of today's function, Sri Sripad Yasho Naik ji, Honorable Union Minister of State, Tourism, Shipyard and Waterways, Government of India, for his august presence and his far-sighted guidance for heightening the coastal agriculture. You have been very generous with your time, sir, whenever I need your guidance and support. I also wish to record my sincere gratitude to our guest of honor, Sri Nilesh Kabaralji, Honorable Minister of for Legislative Affairs, Environment, Law and Judicial, Public Works Departments, Government of Goa, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your thoughts truly inspired us, sir. You have been always supportive for the endeavors of ICRCCRA. I remember previously you have visited here for inauguration of an agro-ecotourism training program when you were the chairman of GTDC. I wish to record my sincere gratitude to Sri Narendra Savekarji, Commissioner of NRA Affairs and former MP of South Goa, who will be chairing our next session. He will be chairing our next session on climate change for being here, sir. So I welcome you and also thank you for your presence here, sir. And the next session we'll be deliberating it. I wish my sincere gratitude to Dr. Suresh Kumar Chaudhary, Deputy Director General ICR, for his scientific direction, constant encouragement in making this symposium beautiful. I also express profound thanks to guest of honor, Sri A.K. Mishra ji, IAS, Secretary Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, who is instrumental in providing financial support, logistic support, and also most important thing is moral support. Whenever we require anything from the state government, he had been like elder brother to our director, and he used to give all the supports from the government of Goa. I express my wholehearted regards to and thanks to our guest of honor, Sri Mahesh Patil ji, he is Chairman Goa State Pollution Control Board, for the knowledge of the house. He is an agricultural graduate, he is a farmer and he is an entrepreneur, and who is always readily available for ICR in rendering his valuable support and cooperation, especially in the area of agro-tourism. My gratitude and ever available cooperation of Dr. Praveen Kumar sir, our director and also president of ACR, for his meticulous guidance and relentless support. And also most important thing, during this preparation of things, he has spread a lot of positivity and cohesiveness within our group so that we could make this program very successful. I'll also express my profound thanks to Sri Neville Alfonso, Director Agriculture Government of Goa, Dr. Agostino Mishkita, Director Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Government of Goa, Dr. Shamila Mantaro, Director of Fisheries Government of Goa, and Dr. Pradeep Sarmakadam, Member Secretary Goa State Biodiversity Board, for their diligent help and all sort of cooperation in making this program successful. My wholehearted thanks to Padma Shri Awardee Sri Amay Mahalinga Naik for being here all the way from Bangalore, and we believe that we have got to learn many things from these innovative farmers like you. I remember with great sense of gratitude to Jose Ramiro Ferraro sir, is a FAO consultant from the United Nations, for his visionary and guidance, especially for the sketching of the program for specialization in agro-tourism. I am in breath of words to express my deep sense of gratitude to our General Secretary of ACR, Dr. Manohara KK, and all the executive members for their untiring support during the preparation of this symposium. My gratitude for ever available cooperation of advisors, chairpersons, and co-chairpersons and members of various organizing committees for their perfect symphony to creating this event a masterpiece. It has been great privilege for me to acknowledge all the sponsors and also Old Goa Education Society for sparing buses for this convenient transfer of these delegates. I highly oblige to all the scientific, administrative, technical, corporate, contractual, and security and young professionals of ICS ECRA for their support. I also express my wholehearted regards to all the directors and former directors of ICR and also registered delegates, farmers, students, government officials, press and media for accepting our invitation and being a treasured part of this symposium. At last not least, I am very thankful to Almighty for providing enough strength, patience and opportunity for our teams to do the things better. Thank you once again, Jai.